anyone who's going through depersonalization, derealization, I hope you find really what's going on with you. And if you're doing your research, I hope you really find it and, try and help yourself. Because I did my research so much that, you know what, when I go to therapy, I'd be ready. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to speak about how's it like living with depersonalization and derealization and OCD. Well, you know what? I wouldn't say I have been diagnosed by a doctor through my research, because doctors usually just don't know what's wrong with you. So I thought I should do my own research. I had panic attack in March. It's now October. Had a panic attack in March, which left me with derealization. Derealization is like, I'm here, but I'm not here. It's like I'm watching myself doing stuff. It's like I'm watching myself from outside of my body. And it's awful. I think I would imagine that a lot of people who are so usually feel the way I feel right now before they try. Luckily, I'm obsessed with like life and living it, and I don't want to die. I'd say I have existential OCD. So like, I ask myself why I'm here, why, like, I have so many questions, and my brain comes up with some theories that are crazy, but obviously I try to ignore those. And yeah, it's been hard. It's how many months now living with the same thing? 6 months. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, that's 6 months living with DPDR, as they call it. So it's depersonalization, derealization. And I think in the Black community, especially in South Africa, where I'm from, we don't speak about like how intricate or like how deep what we call depression is, because sometimes people are not depressed. They have a mental illness that has been misdiagnosed or missed from the time they were young. Because now that I think of it, with my self-diagnosed OCD, it makes sense with the videos I've watched of people who are actually diagnosed with OCD. OCD, people mistake it for like being too clean, or like, I don't know, it always comes up when someone is saying, oh, I like my space clean. Yeah, I just like my space clean. That's not OCD. Let me explain OCD. OCD can come in a form of you trying to be clean. But OCD is crazy because you have to use, some people use like heavy chemicals to clean something and still feel like it's not clean. It can come in a form of you trying to be clean, because if you don't clean the house, someone will die. if you don't clean the house, if you don't wash your dishes, something bad is going to happen. That's how crazy it is. You create things in your head. I don't know how to explain OCD, but it's not what people think it is. It's not, sorry about that. It's not even what people think it is, where people think, I'm just so clean. I'm so OCD. No, it's not like that. Let me make an example of why I think I have OCD. So when I was young, if I'm walking at home, safe, I'm walking down a dark passage because I come from the kitchen. I went to go get some water. And while I'm walking in this dark passage, I'm thinking there's a monster in the passage. If you don't walk and get in your room in 5 seconds, the monster's gonna get you. How crazy is that? Checking if the door is locked in the middle of the night. Checking if the door is locked like 20 times a day. You know you locked the door, but you have to check. That was me when I was young. And while I was doing my research and watching all these videos, I realized that I I am pretty effed up in the head. And I just realized that I'm really effed up in the head. And it's getting worse because now I have kids. Sorry. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I have a family. I was living now with my mother-in-law and my husband. And I realized that I live alone now. The kids are with the granny and the dad in their home. I realized that I have thoughts of people having bad intentions on me. It was subtle for most of my life. And I'd have panic attacks, obviously, but they weren't as bad as now. I feel like I live with people I don't really know. I'm out of my comfort zone. I lived with my family for the most part, obviously. I wouldn't say I lived with my family. Actually, I've been in boarding school since grade 4, which is crazy. I've been, yeah. And the time I was in boarding school, it didn't affect me as much. I didn't have panic attacks as much being around other kids, because I was in boarding school from grade 4 to grade 7. I started living with my aunt grade 8, 9, 10, and then I went back to boarding school grade 11 and 12. At school, it really didn't affect me that much because I would only have these compulsions. Are they called compulsions? These compulsions would manifest in a way that if I'm wearing earphones, you know how music has been a big part of like the 90s kids. We had earphones, you have a phone, you had music on your phone. Music has just been a part of our lives. So if I have earphones on, I couldn't even listen to the music. Like, I'd be paranoid that something outside could be happening and I wouldn't be aware because I have earphones on. Someone could be trying to open the door and I have earphones on. So every time I would try and take out the earphones, like all the time, constantly, I'm listening to a song. After the song, I have to take out my earphones. I would stay up all night trying to listen to music because I can't sleep. But like every time I have to try and listen if there's anything going on around me. I didn't want to be unaware. I don't know what that is called. I need to research that, but like being unaware is my worst nightmare. So I'll try to, as an adult now, I'll try to mind read people. Read people's body language. Everything seems like it's about me. Like what? Someone could say something to me and I'd totally feel like they hate me. Someone could say something. I didn't realize that I didn't fix my hair for this video. I had to like start doing something. Yeah, I have problems trusting people now. I have kids now, so it's intense. It's crazy because now having kids means that I can't just run away. I run away from my problems. I run away from everything. If I'm thinking, this person doesn't like me, but I'm not just going to think this person doesn't like, I'm going to think this person doesn't like me. This person probably doesn't like me so much that they would plan something bad to happen to me. I don't know what that is. I'd say it's trust issues. I think like making this video also helps me realize some things about myself. And I've tried speaking to but a social worker, because you have to speak to a social worker and then they will refer you to a therapist. At least that's how the process is here where I live. So I spoke to a social worker, but like I feel like when I'm speaking to these professionals, I'm always lying to them. Lying or not even getting down to the actual problem. So the process of actually getting to the problem becomes very slow. So I stopped going to therapy because of that, or didn't even start going to therapy because I thought this is pretty slow for me. It's not helping at all. Also, the thing that made me not go back to my social worker therapist is because I'm going through a hard time. I tell him I'm going through a hard time and I can't do certain things. I can't get home and start cooking. I can't take care of my kids. I can't do anything. My first assignment with the social worker was like, he said, do something good for someone every day. If you are down to your last 2 rand, give it to someone else. And I'm like, I don't even have 2 rand to give. In my head, I'm thinking that. Second assignment was, no, he actually, it wasn't my second assignment. He told me that you're married now. You need to take care of your kids and your husband. He didn't even say anything about like, ask your husband to take care of you. Like, I'm like, sir, I'm going through a lot. Like, I don't know if I was making it about myself, but like, I'm going through a lot. What do you mean I have to take care of other people? Okay, let me explain how my OCD affects me. And the people around me, in fact. I feel so stuck having kids. And it's worse now that I'm experiencing DPDR because I feel I'm living with people that I don't really know. In my relationship, communication is really a problem. Like, we miscommunicate a lot, which makes my OCD even worse because I always, like I told you, I mind read a lot. I want to read people's body language. So now, if someone is giving me mixed signals or like, and I don't want to paint my husband as a bad person. He's not. He's he's probably the best person I've ever met in my life, and that's crazy to even say that. He's the best person I've ever met in my life. But like, if he suddenly does something or doesn't do something, I immediately think that he hates me, which is crazy. And sometimes I sit down and I'm just like, that's crazy. You think your husband hates you when he's doing incredibly, like he's doing, I wouldn't say he's doing everything that I expect, but he's doing a lot, you know. I grew up living alone. Like, my aunt would be in her room, I'd be in my room. I didn't have friends. We wouldn't visit friends. We wouldn't we wouldn't really visit anyone. So I grew up alone. Like, being around people makes me anxious as an adult as a result of that. And my aunt, she would really speak badly about people and like their situations at home and like how we shouldn't visit like people because like they have their own issues. And then he would tell me those people's issues. This other time I had a friend who was her friend's daughter and I wanted to visit. She was like, those people have problems in their families. This one time, the father of that family took a gun and said he's going to shoot everyone in that house. I was terrified. I didn't even want to visit that house ever again. Like, I was terrified of that. And since then, I don't want to visit people because they have their own problems. And I just had this perspective of the world that the world is effed up, you know. I would say that I think, or I think it saved me from a lot of trouble, you know, even though I did get up to a lot of things that I regret in my life. But like, I think it saved me from a lot. So like, as I was saying about my situation right now, I live alone now because I just want my own space. I want to feel in control in my own space, if I may put it that way. I don't know if it's helping with the DPDR and the OCD. I'm not sure, but I really, really don't like being around people because of my OCD. I always think that people are planning bad things on me. I was working since December last year. I started getting sick. I would go to the doctor like every month and get time off of work, sick days off. And I stopped working in this month or in October because I just felt like money is just going into my medicals. It's not. I'm not. I'm not happy in my job either because there's things because it's my first time working and I just feel like some things are unfair, you know? Maybe it's normal. Other people who are used to working with people find it normal that people are dishonest at work and they're just doing things like they do things in a way that you think that these people really don't want to be here. And for me, that's a toxic toxic work environment for me. Other people will just brush it off, but I couldn't because like I was also sick. So if someone, for example, a coworker would maybe sleep at the back of the in the stockroom. She would sleep at the stockroom, and I'm just like, this is unethical, though. Like, does this person do this? How are you comfortable doing this? And management doesn't say anything. I'm just like, these people are they like? I'm scared to even make a mistake at work. Probably part of my OCD, but I am scared of even making a mistake at work. The only thing at work that I did that is, I mean, other people find it like crazy is being late. I was late almost every day. Before I got sick, I was early every day. Like I would be like 30 minutes early and I would get to the door and no one would be there. So I'd wait for people to get there. And I actually stopped being too early after I started experiencing DPDR. So I'd be late sometimes. And then I had this month where I was late every day. I think it was August. And I got a written warning. Yeah. So I find it like OCD is just affecting me in so many parts of my life. It makes me not understand other people. It makes me terrified of people. And I go back to my situation and like living with people I don't really know. Because my husband really doesn't talk to me. Hey, I don't want to paint him as a bad person, but he really, really doesn't communicate with me. I don't know what happened there, but like, and I'm obsessed with knowing. I'm obsessed with just knowing. Like, I want to know the future. I even got into like tarot reading, watching those videos on YouTube because I just want to know the future. I was paying this guy who was a seer. He just requested my picture and he would make me pay like 350 just to read me. I was obsessed with the readings. I was obsessed with all of what he was saying. Like it made sense. This other time he told me that I was going to get a warning or something at work. Yeah, I was gonna get like accused of something at work. But that already happened. When he told me this, it already happened. Got a written warning. It was supposed to be for someone else, but I think they made a mistake on my clocking number, my employee number. I went obsessed with all of those things, the people reading me and, like all those spiritual readings and stuff. I was obsessed after that. So I'm pretty obsessed with knowing the future and knowing what people think. And at this point, it's giving me a headache also, because sometimes I assume what people think or what they are thinking in their head. I assume that someone doesn't have good intentions for me. I assume all these things. And I really don't know. But I'm also making this video because I want people to know, like, I don't want people to ask what's going on with this girl. And also because I want to start my YouTube channel. I've lost a lot of weight because of life stress, and I don't know if it's also the OCD, part of the OCD, but like I don't really eat. I think I eat, but like it's just my body is just not receiving it, or my metabolism is so fast because of my anxiety. I don't know what it is, but like I'm losing so much weight. I've lost so much weight since my first child, and it's been so much. So anyone who's going through depersonalization, derealization, I hope you find really what's going on with you. And if you're doing your research, I hope you really find it and, try and help yourself. Because I did my research so much that, you know what, when I go to therapy, I'd be ready. When I go to therapy, I'd be knowing what's wrong with me. And I'll try and explain it to my psychologist. I'd be able to really speak about what kind of work I've been doing for myself so far, just to help them understand what's going on. And even like if they diagnose me with something else, it would be easier for them to diagnose me with something else if they find that it's not really what I'm saying it is. Maybe I have something else going on with me, which is also a mental illness, because I really think that something's wrong. But at least they have a sense of what, I am going through, and I can actually explain it and have some terms to give out to them. So I hope really that you recover from this, and I hope I recover from this. I think I need all the support I need. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Please do like and subscribe onto the video, and I'll be posting about my journey, my recovery, because I do believe that I will recover from this. I'll also do some vlogs of how I actually live, and if I have any panic attacks that week, I will definitely document that and try and, encourage other people as well to try and be strong for this one. Apparently, it's a really bumpy ride. And it's said that we can't really explain it to other people. It's crazy. It's really crazy that other people can fathom really how you feel. And I'm here to say that you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. And don't try to make it the end of the world. Some people live with it for 10 years. Those people are strong. Honestly, I can't bear it. It's been 6 months. But some people live with it for 10 years, and there's so much information on how to really get over it. And it doesn't have to take you 10 years to recover from it. It's because that person didn't have the right channels or the resources or any videos to really help them, and that's why they are making those videos for you. I'm also gonna do reaction videos to those videos and like kind of discuss how I can relate to those videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again on the next video.